guys, I got horses in the back.
Launch all missiles. See what the e-torque does to get us up this little launch pad. Holy cow, this is good. This is very good.
I'm passing semis.
Maybe it doesn't need an exhaust brake. Ram may be onto something here.
This is a very special Ike Gauntlet world's toughest towing test.
Well, you know, this is a red Ram with a red Ram. One's an EcoDiesel, one's a Hemi gas.
Yep, it's two-wheel drive truck versus 4x4. It's modified truck versus stock. But most importantly, this is a 2020 brand new Ram EcoDiesel, and it's part of our Gold Hitch Awards. Let's do it. This is the world's toughest towing test because we're at high elevation, over 11,000 feet above sea level. It's a 7% grade and it's an 8-mile stretch of I-70. The Hemi is our long-term project truck, the 2019 Ram Rebel Rouser. And this is a 2020 model year Ram 1500 with an EcoDiesel. It's a tradesman, it has a couple of packages. It's a two-wheel drive truck with a 355 rear end with a total MSRP, as you see here, of about $41,000, so it's relatively affordable. That Hemi started with a factory price of $59,000, and of course we have about $10,000 worth of options on that Ram. Here we go. I'm gonna just let it go. Yeah.
Does that e-torque make any difference on grade shifting or anything?
It's supposed to smooth out the shifts, so the power is more consistent. It helps in city driving quite a lot.
Then it helps you when you first start with the trailer, doesn't it? Does some...
Yeah, just initial push, because it's on the serpentine system with a belt, right?
Right.
So here comes, I think this is going to be my first brake application, right over 60.
Yep, there you go.
And number one. Okay, downshifted.
That's good.
It wasn't very aggressive on the downshift.
Hey guys, because of Patreon supporters like you, we're able to produce a lot more cool videos featuring trucks like that. Now, there's more. If you support us on Patreon, what are we doing, Nathan?
We'll be able to answer your individual questions on video, and we'll create more content specifically for you guys.
Yes, just use the link below, and if you send us your detailed questions about your car or truck buying decisions, we'll answer it directly on Patreon.
So you're going to be answering questions from all of our Patreon supporters directly, like talking to, hey Jim, you should buy this truck or you should tow with this vehicle? Absolutely, heck yeah.
Sounds like a hell of a deal. Hey, click on the link below, guys.
As usual, our test trailer is from our friends at Transwest Truck Trailer RV. This is a Cimarron North Star. It's a 3-horse bumper pull. It's a stud wall in the front stall. It's got a dressing room in the front and a saddle rack front and back. You can move the back one toward the front for more room in the back in that back stall.
Here it is. We've got 3 barrels overall, 1 in the back, 2 in the front, and the giant water tote in the middle. And the weight is balanced pretty well. I'm pretty happy.
Another standard thing we do with our test vehicles, we always use these Gen Y hitches, adjustable hitches. And this one's new because it has these bolts on the side of it so you can tighten up the screw against the ball and keep the ball from rattling. And we're using their weight distributing hitch system on there. And that is what we do to make a balanced trailer. We've got the square tote full of water over the axles in the middle, and then the barrels are in front and back of that.
But Mr. Truck, what do you do at MrTruck.com?
We goof around a lot.
What?
No, I review like you do, but I also review accessories, and we sell accessories there for your truck and your trailer. Mostly it's a trailering thing. Oh no, 5 brake applications.
5 in the Hemi, and we're basically done. We're near the end.
I guess I'll stop whining about the 8-speed and the 10-speed because it's working.
So far with these weights, these particular weights, 8,700 pounds, it is the case. Guys, of course we know this is an odd couple. This is a modified truck versus a stock diesel. Under the hood here is a 5.7 liter Hemi, and the stock rating is 395 horsepower, way more power than that diesel, but 410 pound-feet of torque, way less torque.
Yeah, this is that e-torque thing. This is that modified mild hybrid. This is a good combination of comparisons. That's really cool.
Both trucks have 8-speed automatics. They're slightly different transmissions because of different torque numbers, right?
That's true.
Starting at 35 miles an hour once again. And now. Ooh, there it goes.
Sounds awesome. Now this should compete with all the big boys for speed getting up the hill, going right at speed limit.
Absolutely. Even though we're towing 8,700. Well, there it is. That's 60. Right there.
That's good.
The 2020 Gold Hitch award season is upon us, and we're using the same scoring system that we have been using over the last 6 years. That means on the way down, maximum points a truck can get is 25. Every time we touch a brake, you lose a point. On the way up, we're using the benchmark of 6 mpg. Every 0.2 mpg below that, you lose a point. And of course, we're using still an 8-minute benchmark time run on the way up. Every 5 seconds over that, you lose a point. And then there's 25 points for subjective score. Total maximum points is 100.
Yeah, I bet we got to talk louder because of the rumble. This thing is,
Yes.
sounds so cool.
So now I'm full throttle. That's
Alrighty.
it. Ike Gauntlet is here.
And you're going 60 miles an hour.
Yeah, and I'm trying to maintain it, dude. All right, do you want to see the sound?
Oh yes, where's that old sound meter?
It's showing about 71, 72, right? And of course, near red line, I mean, you're hearing it, but if you're just coasting on the highway at highway speed, this is still quiet. So what happens at elevation, right? We always talk about this. You have less air density by about 32% here at the top of this mountain. So you're losing almost 32% of your power right there. Slowing down a smidge. We're almost there. And stopping now. 7 minutes and 42 seconds.
Wow.
And 4.7.
4.7.
Well, that's a lot.
Actually, 4.7 is pretty good.
That's quite a lot. Once again, this is not precise as far as MPG is concerned because of their larger tire. So basically a benchmark run.
Yeah.
Basically within 8 minutes. These trucks are very different though, right? On payload and towing.
Oh, they are cool. This is a little longer bed. That's what, a 5.5, and this is a 6.5.
Yep.
And this is a two-wheel drive, so naturally the payload is higher on this one.
Yeah.
It is 2,055.
Which is
on
huge.
The EcoDiesel. Yes, that is very huge. And part of that is because of the weight of the truck. Doesn't have all that four-wheel drive stuff in the way.
And the payload on the Ram Rebel, the factory one, is about 1,500 pounds. Of course, it's a little bit less now.
Yeah.
Because of some of the mods. And towing, Ram went for maximum towing capability on the EcoDiesel at 12,560 pounds. Of course, the Rebel is rated at 11,000, about 100 pounds. So the diesel can tow more on paper.
Yeah, both with 8-speed, and that has what, a
92.
92. That's the lowest one you can get in a half ton. This has a 355 rear axle ratio.
All right, so same procedure, right?
Yep, this is my first chance to get in one of these with a trailer.
Heck yeah. I'm popping out of the tunnel at 50, like always.
That's
and
right.
we're counting brake applications once again. And I'm using tow haul mode, all the modes enabled.
You got the exhaust brake on?
No, it doesn't have one. This truck doesn't have one.
I know. There's something.
There I am, I just popped out. And let's see how grade shifting will work for me.
And this is an 8-speed automatic.
Yeah.
So they've been working pretty well for Ram, you know. Their competition has 10 speeds, and they decided to go with an 8-speed. And, you know, it seems to work for them.
It's been a long time since we had a 3-liter EcoDiesel on the mountain for towing.
Oh, this is cool. This is that 3-liter EcoDiesel, that third generation, 260 horsepower, 480 pound-feet of torque.
Actually, it's way more torque than that Hemi.
Well, yeah, that's why this is such a good towing machine.
Yes, so I'm really curious to see how it's gonna do against that big boy gas V8.
Yeah, you know, I like these electric fans. Look how much room you have in there, all the pulleys and all the belts. I like these puppets.
You could put a second engine in here, it's so much space.
Yeah, you can put one of those e-torque things on top of this one.
Yeah, well, I'm excited because this is a pre-production truck. We got it early. We always make a promise. You saw it here first.
Right, and this is a tradesman, so it's kind of a base model, so it's going to
Yeah.
be one of the lighter trucks with the highest payload.
Yeah.
Makes sense.
So I'm approaching 60. There it is.
It's your first brake application?
And that's my first brake application.
Okay, that's one.
Hey, look, it downshifted twice.
That's good. I like that. That gives you good control without using the brakes as much.
We always measure squat for the Gold Hitch tests, and empty we're at about 37.5 inches, and loaded we were about 35, not using weight distribution, so about 2.5 inches of squat. Yes, I measure both sides, make sure it's even, and that's the average, 2.5 inches of squat.
This is exciting. Now we're all back. Ram's back. GM has one. Ford has one. So the contest is beginning between those, you know, the half-ton diesels, and we waited decades for this. We wanted this a long time ago.
So look at this, we're over 4,000 RPM and still holding under 60.
That's pretty good.
That is remarkable.
So, you know, that means they shut off the fuel and it's just an air pump now, because you wouldn't want to, you know, over rapid diesel.
I'm approaching 58. Look, I'm still high RPM.
Wow. Well, that's interesting. I don't remember the other EcoDiesel going that high on the RPM. So I think that's something new.
This
that
is
they've added
really
to it.
remarkable. So far, all the temperatures are holding. Look, it downshifted by itself.
Hey, now that with no brake, huh?
No.
That's very good. That's
Three
brake applications. Well, that is the way I like a transmission to perform. It needs to downshift because it knows the grade we're going down. It can sense that, and it should be shifting down.
I have to brake again.
Okay, that's number 4.
Look, it went to 3,500 RPM. It tried to save itself.
Yeah.
And now I went to 50 again. Number 4, right?
Yep, that's number 4.
So I think we're gonna level off. You know,
54, yeah, that 4. Well, that would be wild if it didn't 4 brake applications. That's impressive.
That's very impressive. I'm beside myself. No, you're beside me.
Oh yeah, you're beside. That's what I was going to say.
Of course, what about price on the engine? The EcoDiesel for 2020 is a $4,995 option when you're talking about tradesmen. The cost of the engine comes down a little bit if you get a more luxurious truck, but it's available in every trim level, in every cab configuration, 2-wheel drive or 4-wheel drive. So you can get your EcoDiesel in a variety of different ways. We're starting at 35 miles an hour as always.
Up the hill we go.
All right, you ready? I'm going to
ready.
reset and floor it. There I am. I'm floored.
Cool.
It's not downshifting.
Is this the world's toughest towing test?
It is, because it's 7% grade.
Yes. It's a steep puppy.
Well, that was the gentlest acceleration I think I've ever felt. I mean, it didn't downshift, it still accelerated.
Is it still climbing?
Yeah.
Now this interior, this is a tradesman, so it's a basic work truck, which is really nice. My favorite thing is it's 6 seats. Look at this. This middle seat folds up, and then you got stuff storage underneath the bottom of that seat. I love the seat combination. You got tilt and telescoping wheel. You got all the normal stuff. Push button start. The knob shifter. We're all used to that now. And it's 2-wheel drive, and the brake controller is right where it should be, exactly where it's easy to grab. So if you're in a sway condition, you can control that trailer. And a few of the buttons, the tow haul mode's right there in this diesel.
This doesn't have the towing mirrors,
Right.
but still, nonetheless, I have good visibility.
They're pretty long mirror.
Yeah.
Spotters on each one, I like that.
Yeah, I have really good visibility, and now I'm trying to maintain 60 miles an hour. And you know, when Roman and Nathan ran the last EcoDiesel, that was almost 5 years ago. You know, 6 mpg, our benchmark fuel economy number,
yeah.
was based on a
That's
previous EcoDiesel.
Wow, so
Yes.
it's held up for 6 years, huh?
Yeah, so we will see what, you know, how this one does. Can it do 6 according to the trip meter? Will it be worse? Will it be better?
What did the Ford do up this run?
So Ford Diesel F-150 did a 9-minute and 49 seconds run.
Really?
So it was relatively slow.
Pulling the same weight?
Same weight, yes. And it had 5.2 mpg. So we'll see if we can maintain speed and if we can maintain fuel economy with this run. Let's do the sound test really quick because I'm floored all the way down. What was it?
When I saw it moving, it was going between 58 and 60. It kept going back and forth.
Oh my gosh, I mean the Ford diesel F-150 was at like 63, 64 decibels. This is like at 60?
Yeah, it
60
actually
decibels.
It went to 58 several times. It bounced between 58 and 60. That is very good.
The work they did on the quietness actually paid off. So the temperatures, let me just give a quick status. So coolant temp 228, transmission temp 208, really nice, within control. Oil temp 253,
Yeah.
so still within limits. Fuel pressure 52 psi, which is normal.
Yeah.
I'm slowing down, Kent.
So is the semi next to us.
I cannot maintain 60 anymore.
No.
My foot is hurting. I'm pushing I'm pushing as hard as I can. All right, I have a little bit more acceleration here. I'm reaching 55. Still, what gear am I in? Fourth gear. I don't think it's going to be a benchmark 8-minute run,
No.
but the fuel economy should be one of the better ones, or one of the best.
Well, it'll be good, and that shows that this 8-speed is working for Ram.
215. Whoa, downshifted.
I love that when it downshifts, and that happened without you touching the brake or anything.
No. It
That's
just
very good.
downshifted by itself.
So they recalibrated the transmission.
And time stops now. 8 minutes 43 seconds.
Is that good?
That's not bad. It's a minute quicker than the Ford F-150.
Oh, it is?
Yeah.
Wow.
Of course it's no Hemi.
And this is with a 355 rear end axle ratio. So, that's geared about right.
So let's rate the 2020 EcoDiesel, and we're not rating the Rebel on the Ike Gauntlet Gold Hitch score because it's a modified truck.
Right.
It's a whole different story.
Right, we had fun running up and down the hill, but yeah, this is the truck that we're really trying to define.
So let's give our subjective scores for the EcoDiesel. We have 5 parts for the subjective category. Maximum points is 25. We have cabin comfort is the first one. We have suspension handling and squat. Second one, the sway, mirrors, and high tech for towing. How did
Okay.
you score it?
Well, it gave it a total of 19.5. Now, I thought I gave the cabin comfort a 3.5. And I wanted to give it a 4, but that's the problem with this rascal, is it's a work truck. So, you know, how much comfort can you get out of it? It doesn't have the same stuff that the expensive Laramie has. So, I really liked the interior. It was very quiet. It was insulated well, but I gave it 3.5. Suspension handling squat. I mean, it was squatted, what, 2 inches?
2.5, yeah.
2.5 inches. That's around the edge. I mean, I like a 2-inch squat, but just a little more than that. But I thought it handled very well. I mean, I didn't have a problem at all with any part of what it was doing, so I gave it a 4. And the mirrors, these are good mirrors. Both trucks have the same mirror. They're
With
pretty good
spotters?
reach.
Yeah.
With the spotter mirror, then I like that, so I gave it a 4. Could have been a little more, but it's not a towing mirror, and for this class, it's very good. And then for the high tech, well, that's like I'm saying, it's a work truck. It's not high tech. So I can't really give a bunch of scores for stuff it doesn't have.
Yeah.
So I gave that 3, the lowest part of it. It ended up being a 19.5 out of 25.
You scored 19.5,
Right.
and I gave it 23.
Yeah. You give
So
almost
I
a
really
perfect score. That's almost.
I really like this truck, and I know it's a tradesman. It's got a couple of packages on it, but the stuff I took points off is just for squat. I
Yeah,
thought 2.5 inches is quite a lot of squat, so I took a point there. And also high-tech features, yes, but it's more affordable. It doesn't have all the big screens and all that stuff, but still has a rear camera, so I took a point off there. But I really like the mirrors and the cabin comfort. So final Ike Gauntlet score for 2020
Yeah.
for the Gold Hitch is 80.5.
Well, that's a good score.
That's really good score. The F-150 diesel scored 64 points.
Really.
Yeah.
I guess I don't remember what all we took points off, but
Well, it was much slower. The
Yeah,
F-150 was much
yeah,
slower.
yeah.
But we gotta compare it to the Hemi. So the braking performance was much better on the EcoDiesel.
very good at 4 out of 4 brake applications
Yeah.
coming down the hill. Very good.
The Hemi had 5, it's a little bit worse.
And
not
that was
much.
amazing to me too. That's a good score for it.
On the way up the mountain, the Hemi was way faster. I mean, it did basically a benchmark run at just about 8 minutes.
That engine roared.
The EcoDiesel also did pretty well for diesel, 8 minutes and about 42 seconds. But of course, the fuel economy was much better in the diesel, according to the trip computer. And go back to tfltruck.com for more news, and real-world truck reviews and where else.
MrTruck.com.
Thank you, guys.